the Hall of Fame banquet, but it's my honor to welcome you all here to the 10th annual Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation Hall of Fame Induction Celebration. I'm Kane. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Midwest television correspondent for Voice of America, a documentary film producer, and I'm a 1995 graduate of Ottawa High School, and I'm proud to serve as Vice President of the Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation Board. Thank you all for being here tonight. This marks my 4th year emceeing this event, and after a successful run by someone who I'm happy to say is among the honorees tonight, Mrs. Mary Morgan, I'm under a very watchful eye here to not screw up, so I hope that I can live up to it, Mrs. Morgan. Thanks. You know, they didn't give me a lot of instructions when they asked me to take over when she stepped down for doing this. The things that they said was to keep this moving, keep it quick, and make sure that you don't tell dirty jokes. And so I said, well, this seems like these are easy instructions. I can't really screw it up, right? So the first year that we were here, I was trying to make some pretty funny dad jokes, and I think the one joke that came out was, you know, this is going to be an emotional night for everybody. Even the cake is in tears. And the problem is, if you look at the cake, it's a flat sheet, so I didn't really score well on the first joke I tried, so that was the last time I tried to tell any jokes. So. Before we begin, I just want to point out that back here at the table and walking around tonight, you'll see my colleague on the board, Natalie Schmidt, and her husband Joe, and some other of my colleagues on the foundation board. They're going to walk around with some tickets. Those tickets are for a raffle of an exclusive framed and signed print of OTHS by local artist Charles Funk. This is an exclusive print. It was made for us exclusively at the foundation, and tickets for that are one ticket for $5 or 3 for $10. And all of the proceeds from this raffle will benefit the Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation. If you don't win the raffle, don't worry. There is a second chance prize. You can actually purchase these signed prints, unframed, for $100. If you look here in your program that's on the table, on the first page, there is a picture of the print. Again, all of the proceeds from the sale of the prints benefits our efforts here to enhance educational opportunities at Ottawa High School. And you will hear more about that from our president, Wayne Fleming, in just a little bit.
I am married to
But we'll begin tonight by starting out to say that it's an honor for me to be here in front of so many talented and accomplished men and women. And I want to take a moment here, if I can, if I could ask those of you who are here tonight who are previous inductees in the OTHS Hall of Fame, or family members representing those inductees, could you please stand now?
Stand up.
These esteemed ladies and gentlemen make our school proud, and I want to thank them all for being here tonight to welcome in more members into the club. We've been doing this Hall of Fame ceremony now for about 10 years, and if you step out into the hallway that's just outside the cafeteria, you can see the plaques to all the nominees that are now represented in our proud history, just as more will join that legacy here tonight. But because we've been doing this for a while now, it's easy to share some statistics with you, so I wanted to just share some of those. On the walls outside, you'll see representatives from 13 decades of Ottawa Township High School history. 16 of those on the walls outside are graduates or staff from the 1950s. 15 of them are from the 1960s. 9 of them are football or basketball teams, including those from the 1971 to 1972 OTHS football team, who will join those ranks tonight. Last year, we had the honor of inducting our first representative from the 2000s into the Hall of Fame, which either makes you feel really old or really young, depending on what side of that age bracket you fall in. But I do get excited every year when the press release goes out to explain and share who will be joining those ranks in the current year. Because I know that I'm going to learn something new about people that I might never have met during my time at Ottawa High School or living here in town, but I might also learn something about people that I do know. And it reinforces to me and to all of us how the legacy of OTHS and its graduates filters throughout the nation and the world. That legacy includes, among our inductees here tonight, one of the school's finest athletes who literally took his sport to soaring heights. One of the longest serving and accomplished mayors in our city's history. An accomplished surgeon, recognized not just for his medical skills, but also for his humanitarian efforts. a teacher, a mentor, a voice of reason, and accomplished actress who has brought joy to many local audiences. A global expert on international health policy who has led agencies helping to alleviate hunger and illnesses throughout the world. Every one of our honorees, though now from different parts of the country and indeed the world, have something obviously in common, this high school. And it is here we wish to honor their success and contributions so that graduates yet to be can look up at the Hall of Fame plaques that line the hallway outside this cafeteria and know that once you leave, there is adventure, promise, and success yet to come, using the tools and knowledge gained within these halls and classrooms. There's one particular plaque when you walk outside. You'll see a lot of the honorees. There's a plaque at the center that kind of explains the mission statement. I just want to read what that section of the plaque says. OTHS has a long and proud tradition of excellence and accomplishment. From ordinary beginnings, many through determination, commitment, effort, and high expectations have accomplished the extraordinary. This Hall of Fame honors and memorializes those who have achieved and serves as a standard for those to follow. And that is why we're here tonight. The OTHS Educational Foundation is a part of the community, helping prepare those current students for the life and adventure that awaits them. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Mr. Wayne Fleming, and he's going to talk more about the Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation. Wayne?
Thank you, Kane. My name is Wayne Fleming. I am president of the Foundation Board. And on behalf of the Foundation, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2016 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of the Foundation Board who are in attendance. We have Kane Farabaugh, Tom Stroud, Kate Perry, John Fisher, Bill Bazinski, Natalie Schmidt. And two that could not make it is Sam Maselli and John Armstrong. That's our board. Established in 1993, the Ottawa Township High School District 140 Educational Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit private foundation that secures and channels private funds to support and promote the educational programs and activities of OTHS students. Through generous donations, the foundation provides grants to purchase new equipment, promote innovative teaching initiatives, and augment scholastic resources beyond the fiscal constraints of the school's normal operations. The foundation has provided approximately $300,000 in such grants and other support to date. In addition to ensuring that our students are exposed to the most relevant and ever-changing technology and other educational resources, the foundation is responsible for the Courtyard Project outside of Kane Gymnasium, the Hall of Fame, Student of the Month, and Teacher of the Year programs. Our hope is that through additional contributions and growth, the foundation can continue making an impact on OTHS and the students of the district. One might ask why a public entity such as Ottawa Township High School needs assistance from a private foundation that is independent from the high school itself. The fact is that Illinois ranks relatively low among states in direct funding for its schools. Yet the majority of more than 2 million students that currently attend Illinois public schools will stay to live and work in Illinois throughout their adult lives. The economic vitality, future growth and development, and quality of life that we all share will be impacted by this demographic reality. We believe that assisting in the pursuit of educational excellence not only enriches the lives of today's students, but also impacts our communities and collective future as well. The Hall of Fame was established by the foundation to inspire and acknowledge excellence and achievement, be it academic, the fine arts, athletics, or other distinguished achievements. In highlighting the accomplishment of inductees, we believe that current students will be inspired by the standard of excellence and accomplishment achieved by their predecessors. And therefore, we will better foster a culture of excellence and achievement. As we all know, success encourages success. We are very pleased that the 2016 group of inductees establishes a high standard of excellence for those who follow. It is difficult to categorize our inductees into single disciplines because their accomplishments consistently exhibit excellence in a variety of endeavors. The interconnectedness of tonight's inductees is remarkable, with Ottawa Township High School as the consistent, enduring accomplishment. We congratulate you all on your induction and achievements, and thank you for the examples that you have set. We are proud of what you have meant to Ottawa Township High School and look forward to your induction this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. In my notes here it says, okay, now is the time for me to start telling some more clean dad jokes, but I would be committing the cardinal sin of not keeping it moving if I was to do that. So we're going to move along, and I would like to now introduce retired LaSalle County Regional Superintendent, Mr. Rich Myers, who will lead us in our invocations.
Good evening. Please bow your heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity you have given us this evening to honor the recipients of these outstanding awards. We are grateful for the talents and gifts you have bestowed upon these individuals and for their desire and determination to use these gifts in such a positive way. We give thanks for their family members and for the educators who help influence their lives with encouragement and guidance. We are grateful for the food we are about to receive and for the chance to celebrate this evening together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
In the meantime, we want to thank the caterer and the cheese shop for all of the wonderful food that we've had and for the service here tonight. Thank you all very much for helping us. For those of you traveling here from out of town, for those of you who live here, you probably know this, but when you come into town here off Interstate 80, you see a sign beneath the Ottawa City sign that has the population information. It says, home to the OTHS 2015 IHSA State Music Champions. That's right, yeah. In 2015, the OTHS music program achieved its 19th consecutive IHSA State Music Championship. It now has 20. Let me repeat that. It now has 20 total state championships under its belt. And it is the second most successful music program in IHSA history. We are fortunate tonight to be able to enjoy some of this award-winning music live, courtesy of the Ottawa Township High School Woodwind Quintet, under the direction of OTHS Band Director and OTHS Hall of Fame member, Miss Sarah Reckmeyer. Their piece they'll perform tonight is titled Symphony. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the OTHS Woodwind Quintets. Thank you all so very much. As the music department prepares for another state competition this spring, we are fortunate to have OTHS choir director Spencer McDonald here this evening. Spencer Rockford, yes. OTHS choir director Spencer Rockford here this evening. Spencer's taking over the music program this year, and he's done a remarkable job. He's leading the OTHS Opus Jazz Choir, and they are going to perform the full version of the Ottawa Township high school song, Pep. A little trivia there about the high school song. The high school song was composed by an Ottawa Township High School graduate, John LaHoff, in 1907. He's a 1907 graduate, and the song's been a part of our tradition and our history here at the high school. We're honored to have the Opus Jazz Choir singing for us here tonight. Thank you.
When you hear the roosters yelling rock, 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 when you hear the chorus singing Ottawa, forth come our heroes facing their foes. When you see the team go rushing on, rushing on to victory, raise your voices loud and let it play for Ottawa. Crimson and white we're marching onward, courage and strength we owe to you. To Ottawa may we ever be true in the life we may pursue. Each boy and girl ever loyal, each loyal heart beating true. In meeting, defeating each task before us, we choose all high for you. Soon for us our high school days will all be o'er. To thy standard faithful ever as of yore, we'll still remember your precepts true. When you see your sons and daughters striving on, rising up to great renown, then you'll know that we've been ever loyal, Ottawa. Crimson and white we're marching onward, courage and strength we owe to you. To Ottawa may we ever be true in the life we may pursue. Each boy and girl ever loyal, each loyal heart beating true. In meeting, defeating each task before us, we cheers all high for you.
That's the OTHS Opus Jazz Choir under the direction of Spencer Rockford. Thank you guys so much for being here to perform live for us. Thanks so much, Spencer. Thanks so much, Professor Eschbach. And let's all give them a round of applause and wish them well as they compete for the 21st IHSA State Music Championship this year. Okay, so now we've come to that point in the evening where somebody's going to walk away here a winner. And I guess I'm looking for Natalie Schmidt now. There we go, sorry. Everybody else has seen her tonight because she's been walking around using the tables, her and Joe, and we thank them very much. Oh, we got some more tickets over there that we actually have to collect before we actually do the drawing. Thank you for pointing. Anybody else have any more tickets that have to be dropped in the bucket? Okay. So actually, I need a helper. I need somebody to help me pull a ticket out of the bucket. Who would be the best person to help me pull a ticket out of the bucket? Do you think you can help us pull a ticket out of the bucket? We need a big helper. Yeah. We need a big helper here. What's your name?
Sawyer.
Sawyer? Hi Sawyer, how you doing? We need you. What's your name?
Grayson.
We have Sawyer and Grayson here, and Sawyer and Grayson are going to help us pick a winner tonight. You guys ready to do that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Everybody's been very generous to us here tonight. We thank you very much. We sold a lot of raffle tickets. We hope somebody walks away a winner here, and whenever you're ready, Natalie, I'll let you. Who's going to pick the winner? You want to pick the winner? What's your name?
I'm Baden.
Okay.
I will pick the winner.
Okay, all right. Okay, can I see the ticket? Thank you so much. Okay, the winner is ticket number 0410, Kevin Galley. There we go. Thank you guys so much. You guys are big helpers. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your generosity. Thank you all for supporting us here. If you didn't win the raffle tonight, you can still get yourself a print. The prints are $100. They're not framed, but they are signed by the artist. The only way you can get them is to get them through the Educational Foundation here. We have some prints in the back if you'd like to buy one to take one home tonight before you go. This is going to conclude this part one of tonight's festivities. I want to invite all of you now to make your way over to the auditorium for part 2 of our 2016 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. A few things to note. If you can, and you're comfortable doing so, please take your jacket with you. You can take it and keep it in the auditorium. There's enough seating over there that you can place it in a seat near you. It'll prevent you from having to come back here to this side of the building to pick up your jacket. However, if you want to leave it on the racks, you're welcome to do that and come back, but you are also able to take it over to the auditorium. The elevator, as you get over to the main building, is on the west side of the main building. If there are those of you that need elevator access, you can also make your way to the auditorium either through the passageway or below the passageway. And the auditorium is in the main building, and the elevator for that is on the west side of the main building. I look forward to seeing all of you over there, where we'll continue part 2 of the festivities tonight. This has been a great crowd. This is actually, I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. It is my honor to welcome you to the 10th Annual Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. It is also my honor to introduce the next person who will take over tonight's festivities for us, and that is the Ottawa Township High School Superintendent, Mike Cushing. This is Mike's first year as OTHS Superintendent, his 19th year in education. He served as OTHS Principal for 5 years. He served 2 years as the Principal at Lincoln Elementary School here in Ottawa. He served 4 years as the South Peru High School Assistant Principal. And his wife Ingrid is a 1995 graduate of Ottawa Township High School and currently serves as the Principal of Grand Ridge Elementary School. Mike himself is a 1992 graduate of Marquette High School, and it is my honor and privilege to introduce him here to you tonight. Mike Bishop.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give OTHS Educational Foundation member Kane a round of applause as a thank you for being the MC tonight. Good evening and welcome Hall of Fame honorees, family members, and friends. Before we begin the induction ceremony, I would like to take a moment to thank a number of people that made tonight's dinner and induction ceremony possible. Please hold your applause until all are recognized. Thank you to the decade nominating and selection committee members for all of your time and effort. Thank you to those involved with the organization and decorating necessary to present tonight's ceremony. This includes Brad Jackson, Randy Green, who's in our booth this evening, and the OTHS custodial staff. Thank you, Don Harris, Susan McDonald, and Kelly Schmidt for your countless hours of work preparing for this weekend's events. Thank you to our band and choir students for performing this evening under the direction of OTHS Band Director Sarah Rebenstein and OTHS Choir Director Spencer Rockwood. Thank you to OTHS Senior Kirsten Brum, who designed and created the PowerPoint presentation that was on the screen when you entered the auditorium this evening. Final thank yous go to the OTHS Educational Foundation under the direction of Mr. Wayne Clemson, Foundation President. The dinner and induction ceremony would not be possible without the Foundation's support. Please give these individuals and groups a round of applause. During this 138th year of Ottawa Township High School, I again welcome all of you to our 10th annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The Hall of Fame induction provides a unique opportunity to honor those selected. Considered for recognition and selection are individuals, OTHS athletic teams, and OTHS groups. The focus of the Hall of Fame is to recognize excellence and achievement while a high school student, after leaving Ottawa Township High School, or a combination of both. Honorees may or may not have attended Ottawa Township High School, but are significant and accomplished contributors to the school and or society. I am honored this evening to have the opportunity to recognize a very special group of 5 individuals in one team. Inductees were selected by way of a 3-tiered selection process. All are certainly very worthy of it, as all affected the lives of many with their numerous accomplishments. You make us all proud to be a part of Ottawa Township High School. Tonight's ceremony is about the inductees, so it is time for us to hear from each of them. I will introduce each inductee alphabetically, present them with a plaque, and ask that they say a few words. Our first inductee this evening is Mr. Robert Eschbach, OTHS class of 1970.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here. Very special evening for me. It became a little more special last night when I showed up at dinner and my sister and her husband from Seattle flew in. And then today when my brother and his wife showed up. So it makes it even more special. It's also quite an honor to be among people sitting on the stage here. Mary Morgan, who I've known for a long time, is a great educator, but after her retirement, she's left innumerable. She was involved with community activities and organizations that help improve out. Doctors Nancy and Rick, whose incredible work in medicine and public health have improved the lives of people all over the world. Rick Fenza, our national champion pole vaulter, and the 71-72 undefeated high school football team for their athletic achievements. And by the way, since I was nominated, and when it came out in the paper, I've had half a dozen people ask me what sport I played. The answer is none, although I managed to stay on the swim team for 2 weeks. I considered track, and then I found out they wanted you to go around more than once. So I didn't do that. But I did find my way to the debate team, which was a great experience under the direction of Judd Lusher, our coach. And by the way, when I was watching the presidential debates the other night, I was thinking to myself, the first 2 things we learned in debate were be polite and wait your turn. Actually, we probably all learned this in grade school, but times have changed, obviously. I do have to say that I think the nominating committee was kind of gutsy in nominating to the Hall of Fame a sitting elected official in Illinois. And although I haven't experienced the latter, I think it's fair to say that it's better to be inducted than indicted. OTHS was a great place to go to high school. At the time, we didn't think about the administration or the Board of Education. I realize now that these institutions don't just happen. But we all were very familiar and appreciative of our instructors. And I was lucky to have great instructors like Harry Adrian and Dick Clark and Larry Windsor, Jim Harris and Lyle Gunther and Dean Riley, and my wonderful German teacher, 4 years, Fräulein Weil. It was great preparation for college. And I feel I was lucky to be able to come back to Ottawa after law school, where I've been practicing law. I'm going to get it right one of these days, but I've been practicing law for over 38 years. Something I love, but I think I've been most happy the last 16 years as mayor of this wonderful place. And unlike much of what occurs in national government and in state government, Ottawa is a community where people come together to develop common vision and goals and achieve great things. I believe the school has much to do with developing great citizens that have made Ottawa the great place it is. And it continues to play an important role in educating our young people and in making Ottawa a wonderful place. As mayor, I proudly share with visitors and potential developers the great accomplishments of Ottawa High School. As you heard tonight, 19 straight music championships. What other mayor can tout that? And only a few years ago, I was in this very auditorium with a theater group from Chicago that came here to present a play about the Ottawa Radio Girls. And all they could talk about was what a beautiful auditorium this is, what wonderful acoustics, all the technical amenities. And then they went out in the hallways and saw the art collection. And they talked about how clean the place was. And one of the things they said that I was surprised, but we sort of take for granted is, my gosh, this place is so peaceful. So I'm very, very proud of Ottawa High School, proud of the accomplishments that are happening today. And because of this, this award is so special to me. Thank you very much.
Our second individual inductee of the evening is Mr. Greg Fenza, OTHS class of 1988.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all of my fellow inductees of the class of 2016. It's a great honor for me to be standing up here with all of you. I'd also like to thank the committee and all of the people who've worked very hard to put this together. It's been a great honor for me to be a part of this whole program. It's been nearly 30 years since I was a student here at Ottawa, and it's given me an opportunity to reflect on all the things that led from then to me being here today. And the overwhelming sentiment from that is that I had a lot of support from a lot of very good people. Just to name a few, it starts with all of the coaches who worked so hard and selflessly to ensure that I was able to reach my potentials. It was also in big part due to family influences and all of the love and support that they gave me. I've had great friends along the way, and they've also offered a lot of support, understanding, compassion, and kept rooting me on every step of the way. There's a few individuals, though, that really made a difference in my life, and the biggest one is June Gross. It's such an honor for me to be standing up here today with his family present, because he meant so much to me. And all I can say is that had it not been for June Gross, I would not have been able to succeed the way that I did. I'd also like to thank Dan Iles for all the wonderful things you wrote about me through the years. I've had a lot of great press, and that's to you. Thank you so much for that. One last thing I'd like to say to the whole Gross family. Your mother and father were two very special people that touched me. And thank you for sharing that with me.
Our third individual inductee of the evening is Dr. Richard Homer, OTHS class of 1971.
I also wanted to congratulate this year's inductees. It's quite an honor to be nominated and inducted to the Hall of Fame. And a few other people I want to thank, because I truly believe that who we are and who we become is often based on who we meet along the way. So I want to thank my mom and dad. My mom's in the audience today. They gave me a good, strong moral compass, told me what was right, what was wrong, told me how to help people. There's actually two former inductees who played a huge part in my life. Mr. Charlie Elaconis. Before I met Mr. Elaconis, I was pretty sure I was going to be a history teacher. There's nothing wrong with that. But Charlie, he ignited my love for the science, and from there led to medicine, and that led to all the accomplishments that I went on to do. And the other one is Coach Novak. Coach Novak gave me mental and physical toughness that allowed me to get through surgical residency and surgical practice. And many of you may or may not know, I coached
track and cross country head coach, cross country at the local high school. And I try to instill in them a lot of the values that he instilled in me. Now I coach girls, so my tactics are a little bit different than his were, but I still try to be firm. And last of all, I want to thank my wife who couldn't be here today. She has MS and cold just doesn't go all together. As I've said before, and I'll say again, I'm a better man by marrying my wife than I ever would have been if I had not have. And I want to thank her and all the other people that helped me. Thank you very much.
Our next individual inductee served as a teacher and counselor at OTHS from 1966 to 1999, Mrs. Mary Fennessey Morgan.
Thank you, Mike. And I'd like to thank my family who's sitting out there tonight for the support they have given me. They've been very supportive. And if you get to know them very well, you see that each and every one of them is either a retired teacher or a beginning educator. So I'm going to say to you, you go guys. It's a wonderful profession. The biggest thank you tonight from me has to go to Ottawa High School, which gave me so very much. It provided an education for me when I was ill with tuberculosis and could not complete a full freshman year. It offered me a chance to attend classes over a radio system, and that saved me. It was a new idea, and Ottawa High School already had several youngsters who were very ill, who were getting their education from this radio system. One of those people is here tonight. Sandy Robertson, would you stand? Sandy was my roommate at the Highland Sanitarium on the south side, where it's now the Ottawa Pavilion. Sandra, where are you? She's flown in here from San Diego. You can at least stand if I can't see it. Oh, there she is. You're sitting. Yeah. You're not that old. Get it. Anyway, I was thrilled to death. And it was wonderful that Ottawa had a program like that because it helped both of us graduate on time. There were wonderful giving teachers who brought me through that year. And not many people realized that after those teachers had completed a full day of teaching their classes, every 2 or 3 days, they'd come over to the south side to see me and see if I was getting on and what I was supposed to be, if I was understanding what they were telling me. One teacher even brought slides and a slide projector and showed me on the wall of my room the slides of Rome that the Latin class had seen earlier in the day while I would be sitting eating my supper. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's when I first learned what it meant to be a part of community service. 7 years later, when I was looking for a school in which to student teach, as I had chosen to major in secondary education, and that was a requirement, once more, Ottawa High School stepped into my life and accepted my application for the 9-week term. My mentor was the late, wonderful John Duffin. And from this man, along with others, this incredible faculty members with whom I worked, I learned to give, not only to the students who were in my charge, but for the people that I worked with, my colleagues. I heard them talk about things that they did, exchange wonderful ideas. And it led even further than the walls of Ottawa High School. If you needed something and needed some help, you asked a teacher, and they were happy to help you. And then they might tell you of a program that they were working on in Ottawa. And would I like to come sometime to a meeting? And I did. And I loved it. I got to know so much about my own hometown. John, with all the other members with whom I worked, was a man that I spent 40 years with. John passed away last year, but he and I had worked on projects for so long. It seemed hard not to have him around. Again, it was all for the idea of serving your community, the people around you, the people with whom you live. I learned to give, and I learned to give without worrying about it. There are other ways to give besides writing a check. I've done many of those, but at the same time, it's also a wonderful thing to be able to become a part of another group and learn something more, as Mayor said, about the people with whom you live. These people shared their talents and knowledge and showed me how you could learn so much from that type of giving. At the end of my term, Gordon Fiddler, who was superintendent at that time, came in and offered me a contract to teach English at the Ottawa High School. Me! Amazing was the salary, $5,600. No, not a month, no. It was sort of the whole thing. 600, you got it for years. Yes, but I jumped at it, and I was rich. In 1981, Ottawa High School gave me the best gift of all. A very wonderful man named Tony Morgan was hired to teach special needs students English and to do coaching. This year, my good friend and I will celebrate 32 years of married life. I have to say that don't look around, because you may have noticed that Tony isn't with us this evening. This incredibly generous man chose to stay in Florida. I think it was 80 degrees there yesterday. And he chose to stay after and mind our dog while I'm up here and be ready to fill out a foursome if called upon. He just never stops giving. And we will be doing some discussion about his giving when I get back. I promised myself that I would give back to this school as much as it had given me. And that led to giving time and talents, any that I may have had, to working in the community. And you learn so much, as I've said, with various groups in your town. And Ottawa is a wonderful town in which to live. Whenever young people returned for their class reunions, they would always ask me, "Are you still teaching at Ottawa High School? And do you still live in Ottawa?" And I was very proud to say, yes, I am. Of course, at this stage in my life, I'm happy to still be anywhere. I am humbled here tonight, as others have said, and to be in the company of these amazing inductees. And I would also like to thank the Dedication Committee for nominating me, and the Selection Committee for choosing me. How special to be honored for doing something you love so much. This is an incredible honor for me, and I will always cherish it. Thank you.
Our final individual inductee of the evening is Dr. Nancy Rabenstein Pielemeier, OTHS class of 1963.
It's great to be here in this distinguished company. And I want to thank the Ottawa Township High School Educational Foundation for establishing this Hall of Fame. And to my classmates, Solvig Nielsen and others from the class of 1963 for suggesting and supporting my nomination. I wanted to share a little bit about a sense of Ottawa High School in the early 60s. Not everyone here remembers that, maybe Mary does. And that there were many things that those of us growing up in Ottawa in those days probably didn't appreciate at the time, but looking back, several things stand out. At least 2/3 of our teachers at Ottawa High School had master's degrees, and I think that was unusual for the time. Our teachers were well prepared, both as instructors and as subject matter experts. Our yearbooks were dominated by men's sports, and this was, of course, the pre-Title IX era. Band, including marching band, drill squad, and pep squad, choir, a bit of theater, and Future Farmers of America and Future Homemakers of America. And finally, the women's so-called athletic option, the Poseidon Water Ballet Club. We didn't have advanced placement classes per se, but we did have electives in advanced math and biology, English, and so forth. And these served much the same purpose in allowing us to pass out of college courses. Little did we know how well prepared we were for college and beyond. And it's the nature of that preparation and how it influenced me, and I'm sure many of my classmates, that I'd like to make note of tonight. I believe that our high school education instilled in us 3 critical things: confidence, courage, and a sense of caring and community. Of foremost importance, our high school preparation gave us confidence in our ability to succeed. When I entered college, I just assumed that my classmates from the sophisticated cities and suburbs of Chicago and New York and Denver and so forth were far better prepared than I. And I held this assumption all the way to the first midterm, when I realized that my high school preparation was every bit as good or better than that of my classmates from renowned urban and suburban schools. This was definitely a confidence booster. In spite of weak preparation, weak support for women in academia in those days, just before the women's movement had gained traction, I found confidence in my ability to compete academically, a confidence instilled in me by encouraging teachers, like English teacher Art Adams, biology teacher Charlie Alacones, math teachers Tom Riley and Jim Harris, Latin teacher Audrey Weaver, German teacher Gertrude Pfeil. In addition, our school created opportunities for leadership development, as well as a climate of trust and support among our classmates, which carried forward into college and beyond. In addition to confidence, our school gave us courage to take the plunge and try new things. For me, the first big plunge was to take advantage of a Knox College exchange scholarship to spend my junior year at the Free University of West Berlin. Exposure to the wider world during that year gave me further courage to join the Peace Corps, responding to President Kennedy's call at that time to ask not what your country can do for you, but what we can do for your country. And I spent 2 years as a volunteer teacher in Malaysia and Borneo. It took also some courage to marry a foreign service officer, my husband John, who is here tonight, my husband of 45 years next week, to attempt to pursue a career and raise 2 wonderful children while moving a dozen times back and forth across 3 continents. My experiences living and working in developing countries subsequently led me to summon the courage to enter an experimental program which allowed non-clinicians to obtain masters in public health at Johns Hopkins University, and eventually I completed my doctorate there as well. The third aspect of our preparation is the caring and community aspect. Those of us who grew up in Ottawa were exposed to the diversity of a small town and the opportunity to interact with people from all walks of life. Even before the era of internships, I've had the opportunity to volunteer at the Easterfield Center at the Illinois State Department of Social Services. And through these experiences to learn about disability disability and poverty. And through a church youth group and field trips to Chicago, I learned about poverty and racial discrimination. Through Rotary exchanges, my family hosted international students every summer, opening my eyes to the global community. These exposures to community and caring instilled in me a passion for social service, peace work, and then public health. Leadership skills fostered through extracurricular activities helped me to learn to speak out, to stand up for what I believe. These were building blocks for management and leadership development required in my subsequent positions in global health and international well-being. So I thank Ottawa Township High School for all that I've learned here. The confidence, courage, and caring in community instilled in me and others of my generation. I thank the Hall of Fame for the honor of being selected and the opportunity to reflect with you on the importance of school community in forming citizens of today and tomorrow. Please continue to open doors, hearts and minds of the generations to come, as you did for those of us of previous years.
The final induction of the evening is the 1971-72 OTHS undefeated football team, represented this evening by co-captains Jerry Zydo and Mike Stone.
Good evening, everyone. I don't know why my teammates picked me. I think I was the quietest guy on the team. I didn't say a whole lot. I learned a lot. Tried my best. We as a team are honored to be here. Coach Novak and the staff always encouraged us, God first in our lives. So we, the 1971 varsity football team, thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for all He has done and continues to do in our lives each and every day. To Him be all honor. We congratulate all the other 2016 Hall of Fame inductees in honor tonight. They are Hall of Famers. We're just a football team. Pretty good football team. And we also thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting us. There's a lot of other undefeated teams that play here that deserve it more than we do. But we're grateful for this tremendous honor. We want to thank Mike Godfrey for his wonderful nomination letter. It takes 6 years. To get him to vote for us, great letter. To our families, our friends, for their love and support. Our classmates, teachers, cheerleaders, comrades. The great band we had, the janitors, all the support that came from the school. Everyone who came to support us at the games. They were all part of our team. We wouldn't have won without them. And finally, a special thank you to the men that gave us all their time and energy to help make us champions, our coaches. Head coach Bill Novak, Coach Ralph Nelson, Coach Ron Swack, and Coach Bill Murphy. They were very demanding and tough on us, but they were always fair. They taught us the no-back way. And when you know Bill, you know what that means. Precise, disciplined offense. And and a hard-nosed, tenacious defense. A football player. Or I was. They made sure we were the best conditioned team on the field, and they taught us how to play together as a team. You guys are the best. Thank you very much. You know, the season was very challenging, and I'm not going to get into the scores and all of that stuff. I mean, it really means nothing at this point. The main thing is we had to overcome a lot of adversity. We had a lot of key injuries to starting players. But every time a player went down, we had people who stood up, took the position, and got the job done. We never gave up, and we never gave in. We met the challenge head on and continued to win the games, somehow. We finished the year with everyone healthy and a perfect 9-0 record. We are proud to be Coach Novak's last football team, and grateful he was able to end his coaching career with another undefeated season. It was truly a memorable year for this, one we will never forget. And the gatherings we've had, last night in particular, but over the years, the stories are out of this world. People don't remember things, especially me. I don't remember that. I think my head is wrong or something. But it's good to hear the stories again and relive our, for some of us, our glory years as far as athletics are concerned. We want to thank the committee again for our induction, and it's a great honor, and we are truly humbled by it. Thank you very much. Okay, the members of the team. First, we'll go through the guys who couldn't be with us tonight. Our manager, Daryl Stoll. Sophomore, Jim Waddell. Junior, Bob Miller. Junior, Dave Kozlowski. Junior, Kurt Chekowitz. Junior, Jack Spicer. Junior, Max Hall. Junior Gary Newrohr, who was our starting right guard and all-conference honorable mention. Junior Tim Eschbach. Junior Steve Pearson. And Senior Fred Ingle. Next we'll do the coaches. Assistant coach, Bill Murphy. Bill coached our tackles and ends and was instrumental in our defense. Next, assistant coach Ron Slack. Backs coach, quarterbacks, halfbacks, fullbacks, defensive backs. We called him Racehorse. And Murph was the Rock. He's the original Rock. Next is assistant coach Ralph Nelson. Ralph was my coach, centers and guards, and head defensive coach. Then, of course, I want to thank Bill Novak and Karen? Oh, Kim's going to step for Coach Novak. Of course, we all know Coach Novak and his great record. We're just proud to be a part of it. Next, we have manager Dale Mustard. Next, sophomore quarterback, defensive end, safety, Don Sutherland. I'm sure I did. Let's see. Sophomore and starting left tackle, Bob McNamara. Junior quarterback, Bob Kissenberger. Next, junior halfback Ralph Sanders, who is no longer with us. Accepting for Ralph is his wife, Lori. And another teammate who has passed, Mike West. Accepting for Mike is his brother, Steve. Next up, junior fullback and linebacker, defensive end, Steve Doberstein, all conference honorable. Junior halfback, Dan Gertie, the funniest guy on the team. Let me tell you. Dan. Junior guard, Sam Smith. Junior tackle, Willard Onitunga. He didn't want everybody to know his middle name. Junior N. Ed Alderman. Football. Junior N. Bill Backus. Senior quarterback, safety, all-conference honorable mention, Kevin Gallagher. Ottawa for sure. You must know something. Yes. Our Rick Warden Award winner, All-State Honorable Mention, All-Conference First Team, Senior Fullback Linebacker, Tom Miller. Senior halfback, our MVP, All-State Honorable Mention, All-State Special Mention, and All-Conference First Team, the Nate Plate Express, Gary City. He's in all kinds of Hall of Fames. All-State Honorable Mention, All-Conference First Team, Senior Halfback Keith Burlington, what was it? Zephyr Clemens. Senior guard, Dan Groby. Dan has a relative in the Hall of Fame. He's an opera singer. I don't know, Dan, can you sing that? All-State Honorable Mention, All-Conference First Team. Senior tackle, Tom the Bug Gross. Our good guy award, Senior Mike School. Mike was a captain. Senior All-Conference Special Mention, and William Trout Lily O'Connor. Senior N, All-State Honorable Mention, All-Conference First Team, Phil Godfrey.
Now it's my honor to introduce our last two inductees. Number 55, our co-captain Mike Stone, first team all-conference, first team all-state center, Mike Stone. And our last team member, number 63, co-captain Jerry Zyro, first team all-conference. Our teammates asked me to close this out as quickly as everybody else wants to get out. Discipline, hardworking, team unity defined our 71 football team. Perfect 9-0 season, NCIC champions, and now a member of the OTHS Hall of Fame. I can truly say that our team embodied the pirate model, Root Hog or Die. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give all of our inductees one last ovation?